Hello friends, we are going to be painting with gouache today. I have a sketchbook spread that I started and would like to add a little bit to, and just kind of experiment with some colors. So let's take a look here. I think I might try maybe some lighter colors. Give it a shot. And just see what happens. We'll see if I can open all of these too, because sometimes my gouache gets a little bit stuck. That is okay. And a little goes a long way. With gouache, and that's this lemon yellow here. And I've got this cerulean blue. And I will say this is the only gouache paint I've ever used, but I don't necessarily think it's the best. It's just what I had available, and then I've never really upgraded to anything new. And we've got this rose. And that just wants to come out and not stop. Always good to add just a touch of titanium white as well. And I really do recommend just starting with a few colors and not going overboard with a million different color combinations for each illustration you're working on. So I have this Strathmore sketchbook. We might have to move y'all up a little bit. And I like it because it's got nice thick pages. And this is what I've been working on. I have this one already done, and I'm wondering if I want to do one whole tall one on this page, or if I want to do a long one going into the next page. I am not sure. I think I'll probably just do another long one. I'm used to doing a tall one, that's what I say. And then I also always keep a second sketchbook with me as well when I'm painting, just because this is where I can put the extra colors and experiment with the colors before putting it on my final nice sketchbook. So let's just try some of these colors here. And painting is definitely something I want to do more of. I do so much line work and working with ink most of the time, but I really do love color. This is gouache. Welcome. Welcome, Supernova. This is gouache. Yes, I'm using a very, very standard very affordable little gouache on hand. And I usually use a fair amount of water with my gouache. I'll start out using a lot of water and then add gouache without as much water as we go. That is just usually how I build up the layers. And I'm just experimenting, mixing some colors as well. We'll see what we can throw together. You've been nervous about trying it as a new medium because you hate to waste. Oh, have you been perhaps dumping too much paint on the palette, or you just haven't even tried it yet? I don't know what you mean by waste. I certainly use it with water, and that goes a lot further than just painting it. Painting with gouache like it's acrylic, you're definitely going to go through it faster, and I don't think that is, I mean, people definitely do that and do great with doing just painting with gouache without as much water, but I think gouache is so versatile and wonderful to use because you can add water to it. And you can find really affordable gouache as well. You don't have to buy super, super expensive gouache to start out as you're learning and as you're trying it. Struggle a bit with color theory and have a hard time making exactly what I feel I need. No, it does make sense. It does make sense. So you're mixing more than actually painting. That definitely just comes with practice and feeling more comfortable with the colors on hand. You can, buy a big, huge set that has a bunch of different colors already made for you. But I do recommend learning to mix color because that is going to help you be much more versatile, and you'll be able to do a lot more with the colors you have if you can learn to mix. And it does take a lot of practice. Like, that's no joke. It takes a long time to kind of get the hang of it. And I'm no color theory master either. I do have a video up, just my recent video, long form video last week was about basic color theory, and that might help you. Just going through basic primary colors and creating a color wheel from that, and then how to choose colors from that. But for me, it's definitely like I'll use just a few colors and then mix them all together from there. Hello, Alistor. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We're painting with gouache today. Right now, I'm just experimenting with some different colors and mixing them and experimenting with how they look, but I'm going to kind of hopefully try and add to this sketchbook spread here, except using different colors, which will be fun. And this was a whole completely different color combination, so it might look kind of funny together. I don't know yet, but we'll try it and see what happens. When you were a kid, you begged your mom for magenta, cyan, yellow, white, and black just to save money and make all your own colors. Yeah. Oh, it definitely is a lot more work when you're mixing all your own colors just from a few. I mean, if you're buying really expensive paint, obviously I think that it is worth it to try and mix, because then you're not, using quite as much of the nice paint. But yeah, I mean, find some more affordable paint. There's a lot more affordable paint out there. And just buy a bunch of different colors if you feel more comfortable that way. Even though I think mixing colors is the best way to learn, it's a really foundational skill, I think. Mixing colors is foundational just to be a good painter in whatever kind of paint you use. But I don't think it's necessary to be a painter, right? Like, if having pre-mixed colors helps you, then use those, because Don't let, basically what I'm saying is like, don't let mixing colors, like the fear of mixing colors or the uncertainty of mixing colors, keep you from painting, because anything that's keeping you from doing a creative practice is like just not going to be helpful. So like there are ways to learn fundamentals in art and ways to learn like the quote unquote rules, but all rules in creativity are meant to be broken anyway. And so if you like, cheat the system and use pre-mixed paint, like great, awesome, do it. If you, whatever thing helps you create, it's like you're being creative and finding solutions that work for you, right? So yeah, I definitely recommend buying like a more affordable, like nice big set like this, and they have lots of different colors. Or if you know the kind of colors you like, just go to the store, buy little tubes of just a few of your favorite colors, and slowly grow your colors from there. You don't have to know exactly what colors you like right away. And I think as well, for a lot of painters, like our favorite colors change over time too. So, just experiment, and it's okay to use a more affordable, less expensive gouache or paint as well. Do what works for you. You're so kind, thank you. So many artists make it seem like you need to get color theory down before progressing. Yeah, you know what? I think that's true. But you know what? If people are pushing you to learn color theory or a specific fundamental, look and see if they went to art school. Because my guess is the people who super push, people who push the fundamentals like that are probably people who learned that way, right? They're the people who went to art school. They're the people who learned how to paint through color theory, through all of those things, right? And for myself, and I think a lot of artists, like we're self-taught and we're just figuring it out. And I think in general, yeah, don't let anything keep you from being creative. You can still experiment and learn, and not have to learn all of the quote unquote essentials right away. Currently obsessed with the color of the discontinued arsenic paint. Uh-oh. Definitely don't use arsenic in anything. That would be very bad. But that is unfortunate, yeah, because please don't use that. Hello, Lucifer. Hello, Alinov. I'm probably pronouncing that very poorly. I apologize in advance. But hello, welcome. I am doing some gouache painting today. And we were just talking about color theory and mixing colors. I'm just kind of mixing some colors here. And yeah, like how, yeah, it's not necessary. I mean, I think that it helps, let's say if you want to draw people, it's definitely helpful to learn anatomy and to do some figure drawing and stuff. But don't let that keep you from being creative if you can't like go to a class or something. Just a beautiful teal lime combination that I cannot match. You know what? I believe in you, Supernova. I think that someday you can probably either find that color or mix that color perfectly, and you'll find it again, I bet. Please don't use the blue. The blue? I am using blue. Ha 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 ha. And actually, I'm not super certain what's going to happen here. I am just winging it per usual. But I know I always felt super self-conscious as an artist, like not having learned anatomy and things and drawing people. And I don't know, there's just so much more to life than getting all the rules right. So just enjoy the process. And if you find a way to do that, then you're fine. That's all you need, really. Really all you need. Let's see, we're gonna do, my thing is that I always draw mountains. That's a pretty common occurrence for me. So I might just have to draw draw, paint some mountain type things. Lucifer, new here, welcome. Happy to have you. Welcome to the party. I'm painting or drawing usually, and we're just chatting and hanging out. You could do the same scene in a different season. Cold vibes from the blue. Yes, you're right. I mean, I've already kind of added mountains way up here, so I don't know if it's going to look exactly the same, but we'll try something. We'll try something. Emily, hello, welcome back. Lovely colors, thank you. Doing some completely different colors than the other one here, so this will be, they won't necessarily match, but that is okay. They will look just fine. So the thing with gouache, and it definitely dries pretty fast. Like I think the sky is already dry, right? But some of it, depending on how much water you have, is going to take some time to dry. But that doesn't mean you have to stop, right? It's like I have different layers here, but I can also cut down to a lower section and start painting with that. So I'm going to try doing, let's say, a nice like green here. We're going to do some hills. And the great thing too is that like with gouache, these two blues up here are the same blue, the same mixed. It's not, this one isn't even mixed. This is just cerulean blue. But you can get such a different value just by how much water you're adding. And so that just makes it feel a lot more versatile and that you can do a lot with it depending on how much water you add. And I love watercolor, but gouache I just love even more because it can do so much. HD Animation, welcome back. Hello. So glad you're here. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you enjoy the painting. We're going to see what we can create because I have some references up, but I'm really not looking at them and I wasn't feeling super particularly connected to any of them. So I am just winging it and we'll see what happens. Blossom Moonlight, hello, welcome. You like to paint and doodle too? You get stressed with the right technique, right rules. Yeah, just go for it and learn along the way. Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. Because the best thing to do if you're learning art is to just make art. And if something is keeping you from making art, then of course you're not going to improve very quickly. Not that you need to like have super fast improvement or anything, like that's not required either. But for me, like art isn't even always about skill. It's about just the practice of it, right? It's so calming and therapeutic. So the more time you have to create art in your life, the better. So don't let anything stop you. And you're new here too. Thank you, Blossom. Thank you for that insight as well, because I'm glad that resonates with a lot of people because art can be really intimidating. Like I think that definitely like art schools and certain art is like it seems so prestigious and scary and like no one new is allowed here, you know, that's what it feels like sometimes. But we can't let it be that way. We can't let it keep us from making things. Like if you just doodle in your sketchbook and never make a fully painted piece, that's fine. That's not, you know, like that's not necessary. You don't have to. You can make art just for yourself. You can make art for the sake of making it. I mean, humans are inherently creative creatures, and so I just think it's a part of being human and everyone should do it, and I don't think there should be any gatekeeping to art. Wow, you all have really got me going on a rant. It's a good rant. I just haven't thought through those processes in a while. But yeah, it's like I never went to art school. I took one drawing class in high school, which was very fun, and definitely learned a lot, but I just don't think it's necessary if you can't go to art school or if you don't have any opportunities for that. Like, just make art. Just make art. Everyone needs to make art. Even if people who don't think they're artistic, like, make art anyway, because it's important and healthy for you as a human being to make art. Emily, yeah, seriously, I went to art school and it was really like that. It took me years to unlearn all the toxic stuff and rules they imposed on you. Oh, Emily, I am so sorry. Like people can get a lot out of art school, right? I'm not saying don't go to art school, but I am saying like you don't have to. Don't listen to anyone but yourself, y'all. Just do it. Yes, Emily. Yes, you are preaching what I'm putting down. Yeah. Because I know of someone as well who went to art school and it just ruined his connection with art. Like he stopped. He just couldn't. He just couldn't keep on. It ruined his confidence. It's taken him a long time to get back to creating, which is sad. When you start painting, you start with the sun and then you stop. That's okay. You should just make a lot of suns. That would actually be really fun. Just like a painting full of suns. That would be really pretty, I think. It's like you don't have to make a full landscape. That's not a requirement. It'll be like Star Wars, with the many different suns. That would be pretty, I think. But that's just me. We have a lot of mountains going on here. Again, I can't not make mountains. That's just the way I do it. Sunflowers too. Oh, sunflowers are so pretty. Excellent choice, honestly. HC animation. I think the best way to start is just to draw the things you love. It could be anything. I wholeheartedly agree. HC animation. Like I think we've talked about this in a comment section at some point or something. But like just draw what gets you excited about art. And for me, that for a long, long time, that was like anime and animation, like fan art. And it was awesome. And I really don't make as much fan art anymore, but I still love it. And that's what got me drawing. It's just a matter of draw what keeps you drawing. And it doesn't have to be anything super deep even. It doesn't, like, we don't have to be out here changing the world with our art all the time. We can just have a good time with our art. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know if I'm adding a river or what this is. Sankey, okay, welcome, hello. What do you think is the most overrated painting? Overrated painting, wow. That's a big question. Okay, this is a hot take, y'all. The most overrated painting is the Mona Lisa. Not to say it's definitely a beautiful masterpiece. It's a work of art. It's a work of art, LOL. It is a masterpiece. It is wonderful. I haven't seen it in person, so keep that in mind. But the only reason that it is famous is because it got stolen once, and now everyone knows what it is. It used to not be famous at all. But then some guy in the 20s, or maybe it was earlier than that, stole it, and now everyone knows what it is because it got stolen. And it was such a big media frenzy. It was a whole big deal that it got stolen. And so, yes, I think it's really, really lovely and really wonderful, and I'm glad everyone likes it. But everyone knows what the Mona Lisa is, and it is, another wonderful piece, but it's not as special as, I don't know. Speaking of sunflowers, like Van Gogh's sunflowers, right? Like, I like that a lot better than Mona Lisa. But that's just me. Emily, you were going to say Mona Lisa too? Yes, it's like, if you ask like an average person to name a painting, they'll probably just say the Mona Lisa, because that's what people know. Alanov, you too. HC Animation agrees. We all agree the Mona Lisa is kind of overrated. It's still good, but it's just gets a little too much attention. And I don't think it needs all that attention. Like, if I ever go to the Louvre, which I definitely want to do someday, I'm not going to wait in line to see the Mona Lisa. I'm going to be busy with the other bajillion of wonderful things to see out there, so. It's too funny, but true. It's true. Don't like it really. I feel the value around it is just the story behind it. Exactly. It's like, it's the story, which is a great story, to be fair. It's a fantastic story. I think it's a very interesting story, but I don't think I don't think that's the reason there should be hype. Although I will say, I think that's mostly how things work, really, honestly. It's just weird media marketing things, and that's what we remember. You'll always love the Starry Night painting. I like the way it feels, like it's moving in a way. I agree. Van Gogh's work is some of my favorite. It's so expressive, and I love the colors. And I love that, like, whole era, like, it's just beautiful, and I like those. It's just very stark, and it's not trying to be super realistic, and the colors are vibrant. Just, it's yummy. You know when a painting is just yummy? That's Van Gogh. Van Gogh's stuff is just yummy. Not Van Gogh himself. I'm sure he was yummy, but I don't need him to be yummy. This painting, this little section is definitely going haywire at the moment. Like you can tell, I don't know, I just feel like this one is like so good, and this one is like a little bit sloppy right now. I almost just want to add weird different colors, because why not? Anything Van Gogh will never be overrated to me. They're too gorgeous and too full of feeling. Exactly. They're so, so good. Is this like watercolor paint? It is gouache. Gouache is a little different than watercolor. Gouache can come out looking a little bit thicker like an acrylic. It's versatile because it can look thick like that, but it can also look thin, right? Like a watercolor. It depends on how much water you add to it. So some of these parts, like this has more water than this part, even though they're the same color, and so that creates a different atmosphere. And like if you'll see on this one, right, like this sky is all with more water, but then like down here, the flowers, that's just straight paint. So you can add different layers and it looks a lot different depending on how much water you add, which is why I love it so much, because I like watercolor too, but you can't add that thickness like you can with a gouache. So definitely recommend gouache. I really love it. It's just fun, and it's fun to use. Obviously, like with any tool, it's going to take time to learn how to use it or how you like to use it. You've never tried it. You really should give it a shot. Gouache can be really fun, and I feel like there's more vibrant colors than watercolor. But also, I've just spent more time with it than I have with watercolor, so for me, it just feels more comfortable. I like the right side of your painting because I think you were not thinking about it. It's true. This one is like, I'm just kind of going with the flow and having a conversation and not really focusing on the paint as much. And this one I took a really long time on, and I wasn't doing anything else. I was just focusing on the painting. which is maybe part of the problem. Like I'm focusing on chatting more than I'm focused on painting right now, which is fine, you know. As you'll see in that bit that I showed you, I do really like doing these kind of like vertical landscapes. They're just really fun, and I don't know, I've just found a flow with them that I really enjoy. I think one of my favorite ones, oh yeah, here. One of my favorite ones is this one here is one of my favorites that I did. And this was from a long time ago, but it's still one of my favorites, and it's so small. I just love little tiny paintings like this. Like I want to turn it into a bookmark or something. But thank you for all the kind words. I'm glad you like them. If you want to look at some, we can look through some of these while this is drying a little bit. I mean, this is just swatches. I mostly use this just for swatches of color as I'm painting. So there's not a whole lot in here. I think that's kind of it. These ones, some more people and wort. I draw a lot of wort because wort from Over the Garden Wall is great. I think that's from Legend of Zelda. I got Zelda. More landscapes, some shapes, some fruit. Perfect for a bookmark. I really loved how these colors all worked together. They were very pretty. So I'm just experimenting with color and stuff. I really like how this turned out. This one right here. I like that one a lot. I need to add sunflowers to my collection. I'll draw sunflowers, paint them. It's true, I definitely should. So this one truly is just a hodgepodge sketchbook of many random things. Look at all those colors. You love my style, thank you. Thank you so much. Vertical landscapes, it's like you're doing multiple paintings on one page. Thank you. Love the way you use color. Thank you. Wow, that's so nice. Sometimes I feel very not confident with my color choices. So that's really nice to hear. Oh yeah, this one's too. I like how this was like, I don't know, I just like the lines and the, I don't know, I just like how that turned out. So talented. Aw, thank you. That's very sweet. I mean, most of these really are like more scribbly, not full final pieces, but you can really tell, wow, like I do so many of these vertical landscapes. Here are some flowers, not sunflowers, but flowers. Yeah, I think that's it. So that one is just full of vertical landscapes. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that it was so many vertical landscapes until just now. So now we know that it's full of these exact types of things. But thank you for all of your kind words. It means a lot. Clearly, I've done a lot of them, and so, you know, when you do something a lot, you get more comfortable with it and all of that. So let's take a look here. My green is not super dark. I am going to add maybe some purple. See, here is like, I already have a layer that's pretty dark, and so trying to add another dark layer is a little bit of a challenge. Getting something that's dark enough. But we'll give it a shot here. And I'm sure this is true with any painting. Like, I'm not a huge acrylic fan or oiled, or I've never tried oils, you know, but I'd probably say with any painting, like, it's just about layering. It's just about being comfortable with seeing where it'll end up and not what it looks like right now. Like, obviously right now, it just looks a whole bunch of blobs of color, But hopefully I can fix that a little bit. And I'm also working with a round brush, by the way. I didn't really talk about my brush, but I love a round brush because it's versatile and it can be thick or very thin and on the point. So I can do a lot with it. This one's gone through a lot. It's been with me for a very long time, probably like 10 years. So it's definitely well used. I think this is kind of like my favorite part when I do just a little bit of like grasses and stuff. Most loved brush, exactly. It really is. It should have a name, honestly. The round brush needs a name. If you have any good brush name ideas, let me know. Because it is my favorite painting tool. Actually, well, I have a very, very tiny brush, which if you saw the last live stream last week, I used my super tiny paintbrush. That's probably my favorite paintbrush, don't tell, but I use that not for painting, but for ink, so. Zara, hello, welcome to the party. We are doing some painting with gouache. And I hope everyone can see. It's getting kind of dark here, so my light is fading. Let me bring over some artificial light for us. There we go. Hopefully that's better. Y'all can see. But we are just painting some little landscapes, just for the fun of it. To work through the sketchbook, honestly, I've had this big sketchbook for, I don't know, 4 years, and it's one I'd really like to complete sooner rather than later. Landscapes look like perfect camping spots. Okay, I'll tell you what. You know what? I think it's probably just subconsciously I want to go camping here. My boyfriend and I do a lot of camping, and so I'm definitely itching to get camping. We haven't gone yet. It's been too cold. But I definitely need to get camping. Hirin, hello, welcome back. It's my time sleeping, so unlucky. I'm so sorry. You can always come back and watch the live streams when you're more awake. You can watch the replay of it. You know, I don't really schedule when I do live streams. They just happen when I have time, and I try to do them every week at some point. Weekends usually work best for me, Sundays usually, but not guaranteed. So I do apologize if you miss one, and I don't schedule them in advance because life just happens. Like even today, I was gonna do the live stream like 4 or 5 hours ago, but then something came up that I really needed to take care of, and so I was not able to do it then. I even set up my desk and everything, and I just wasn't able to do it. And so that's why I'm doing it later today. 12 p.m. You need to wake up in 6 hours? I think you need to go to sleep. Hopefully you can plan a summer camping trip. Yes, so we have one scheduled over the 4th of July weekend. I'm in the US, so obviously we have, you know, our Independence Day off. And we definitely have one scheduled for then with some fun people, so that should be good. But we've really been so busy. We're planning a big trip abroad over the summer, and I'll tell you the details about that in an upcoming video. Okay, bye-bye, Hirin. Bye, good night, or good morning to whatever time period, time it is for everyone. But because we've been so busy planning that big trip that we haven't gotten around to planning like fun little things, like camping. 4 a.m. for Alanov. 4 a.m.? Why are you up? You should be sleeping. I mean, I'm glad you're here and joining us, but that is late or early. Wow. HC Animation, what are your favorite types of genres when watching movies and shows? You know what? I'm pretty all over the place. I would say I really don't like horror, so I don't watch that. I don't watch a ton of action. I don't know. I mean, I like drama. I'd probably say a drama, comedy. I love fantasy. We'll go in that direction. Fantasy, anything with dragons. I love fantasy. I'm watching through Lord of the Rings Extended Edition at the moment, and that's my jam. Oh, it's Ramadan. That's why. Okay, yeah. Oh my goodness. Awesome. You get to, yeah, now is the time you get to eat. You get to feast. Oh my goodness, Alanoff. I hope you're eating some really delicious, wonderful food. That sounds absolutely lovely, honestly. And thank you for joining us while you're getting some food. I've only fasted a couple of times, and even then I was still like allowed to have like liquid food, so I had like, you know, juice and stuff. And I'm telling you, that's hard. That's hard to do. So props to everyone celebrating Ramadan right now. Obviously, I'm sure you're a little more used to it, but it's still hard, you know. That's why you do it, you know. It's like it's a sacrifice. But yeah, once you eat after you fast for a while, so good, so good. By mistake, I opened YouTube, then I saw a painting, and I stay. Well, don't let me keep you from getting some rest. But I am glad you're here, everybody. Glad to have everyone here having a little painting session. So I will take suggestions. I always like to add flowers, okay? I'll probably add some flowers out in the field there. So of my colors here, what color should the flowers be? I've got an orange, like this grass. I have a pink that hasn't really been used. I could make some more purple. I could do blue or like a yellow. So let me know what color the flower should be. From 5:30 to 6:30. Ah, I see. And I think, because I still have all this white that that's the thing too with painting, is like, I just put a bunch of stuff on my palette and then I see what I use, but I don't, you know, use everything or use what I think I'm going to use. Then I just have all this extra paint and I don't know what to do with it. Yes, I will add flowers over top the green area. So let me know what color those flowers should be, because I always like to get your opinion. A pop of yellow. Yellow would look really good with green because those are complementary. A red. Ooh, a red. I don't really have a red. I could make like a deep, deep, deep orange. Anything would look amazing. Or I guess red and green are complementary, aren't they? I was just thinking of there's a sports team that has green and yellow as their colors, and I was thinking of them, and I always think that's really a pop of color. But anyway, I don't watch sports. You just love yellow. Honestly, good choice. What is everyone's favorite color, just in general? Let me know your favorite color. I think my favorite color in general is like oranges. Like half of my wardrobe is orange. But I don't know if I paint with orange that much, even though it's my favorite. It's just in my life a lot. Like all of my decor is orange. red would look nice too. We like the red option, okay. And so, like, as I was talking about gouache as well, like here I'm adding some like texture and some different colors and layers, but I'm using less water and I'm just using the paint, and that just comes out looking differently, and it's easier to layer the paint on top of like the paint with more water, if that makes sense. Lucifer, you deserve bigger reach on YouTube. You should do collaborations with other artists. Oh, thank you. Really appreciate that. I really haven't been doing YouTube that long, so, and to me, at least, I feel like I, you know, have, you know, gathered a lot of really cool subscribers and a nice little community for not being on YouTube very long. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I hope to stick around and to grow some more. And if artists want to collab, that would be cool. That would be very cool. Obviously, there are lots of other artists that inspired me to be on YouTube in the first place. And so I would love that. Blossom, teal is my favorite, and yellow is close second. Teal, ooh, yeah. Teal is a really fun color. Okay, I've heard a lot of reds for the flowers, and because I didn't put any straight red on my palette, I am just going to use up some of this pink and try to mix it with the orange to make it a little darker. And we're gonna try that. And it's gonna be kind of a pinkish orangey. Alanov, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate all subscribers. And then if you're subscribed, you know, hopefully you won't miss as many live streams. I think you can still do the like little notification bell thing and that'll tell you when I'm live, but you know, no pressure to do that. Just if you're like not wanting to miss out on anything. Because again, I wish I could like guarantee that I am live at a certain time, but I just can't do that right now. So someday, if I was ever like doing this full time or something, maybe I would commit to a specific day of the week, a specific time or something. But I just go live when I can because I still have other things in my life right now. And that's just how it works. Yeah, I really like how this color is looking. It's really hard to put the very tiny, tiny ones on there. Boop. Okay. There we go. That's looking fun. All right, I'll see you, Alanov. Thank you, thank you. Hope to see you in the next live stream or the next video. I did do some red. I hope you like it. I'm really liking it. I like the red a lot. Looks very nice. I still feel like there's got to be something in this grass at the front. I'm not really sure. I'm tempted to use the red in the grass too. Just to kind of make it, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, that's it. Thank you so much. Glad you like it. That's what I'm looking for. I just needed a little something extra, especially when it's at the foreground. It's like you've got to have something really nice. You need more layers in the foregrounds. My drawings and paintings inspire you. HC Animation, thank you. That is honestly, that's my goal. I just want to inspire everyone to make as much art as possible because art is great for humanity and for mental health, at least for me. And I just want everyone to make the art they want to make and have fun doing it. So there we go. There is my little landscape. I think that's pretty much done. This is always the part where I'm like, oh, I still have so much paint on this palette, and then I'm not sure what to do with it. And so that's where sometimes I will keep painting on this one or do something else. Any suggestions? Any at all? Do I paint on here? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Oops. I will have to get going here fairly soon, but not quite. Who is your favorite superhero? That's a good question. It's Spider-Man. That's not hard for me to choose. It's Spider-Man. Spider-Man is my favorite, and I'll tell you why. Because I watched the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man when I was younger, and that was kind of the first superhero that I was familiar with. And so he became my favorite. And I still think that's true. Because now we have really, really cool Spider-Man movies that's even cooler than those ones. So, and I'm talking Tom Holland and I'm talking Spider-Verse, all right? So Spider-Man is objectively, I think, the best. Night landscapes. You know, I haven't done that many night or evening landscapes, and that would be really fun. I don't know, I just never feel as comfortable with night landscapes, so if I did more of them, I would feel more comfortable. Yeah, Spider-Man Across the Universe is literally amazing. It's incredible. Those films are just amazing. Tobey Maguire one is the best. He's your favorite too? Yes. Spider-Man for the win. Maybe sun and black birds on the sky. We really like the sun here, don't we? Yeah, we could do a sun. I'm doing this little tea kettle. Isn't it cute? We could do little flower. Painting a puppy. You know, I'm not super comfortable with most animals. That's another thing I could probably learn to draw better and feel more comfortable with. Your eyes were playing tricks on you. Yeah, that would be very, very silly. if either of these was a puppy. It just feels so much more easy to add different layers and things when you're working with gouache, because you can get such different values so easily. We can put you closer to what I'm working on here. See, that spot's still a little damp. I mean, I can put it here anyway, but I'll show you. It might, yeah, kind of bleed out because it's too dark and it's too watery. Looks fun to work with. Yes, please, please, please try gouache. It's super fun. You can do a lot with it. Very versatile. I mean, it's kind of weird if you're not, it depends on what you've worked with before. Like, it's not quite an acrylic and it's not quite a watercolor. So whichever one you're more familiar with, you will definitely be a little bit like, what is this? Because it's definitely not a watercolor and it's definitely not an acrylic. It is kind of both. Well, let's see here. You've tried both acrylics and watercolors. Okay, great. It's kind of like 2 in 1, honestly. It's kind of an acrylic and a watercolor all in one. So I think you'll have fun with it, for sure. All right, so that's what we've made today. I'm gonna have to start wrapping up here and saying goodbye. An hour goes by so quickly with everybody. Acrylic was very challenging, not a lot of experience with it. Yeah, just with any tool, any medium, you're gonna get better the more you practice with it. But I feel like this might be even more watercolor-y. At least the way I use it is more watercolor-y. So I think you'll enjoy gouache a lot. Alanov, thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone who's here and has been coming in and out of the chat, or if you're hanging out and not in the chat, that's fine too. Glad you're here. Lucifer, goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. Blossom, I'm so glad you had fun. Thank you for being here. Make sure everyone subscribes so you don't miss out when I'm on live next. And I've got videos coming out every Thursday. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will see you next week for the live stream and Thursday for the full-length video. And have a fantastic rest of your weekend, everybody.